This is the only episode you'll ever need to listen to if you are looking to create more money to be able to invest in support. Welcome to Embodied Entrepreneur. This podcast helps female entrepreneurs heal trauma and regulate the nervous system so that they can build a profitable, sustainable, and anxiety-free business. I'm your host, Sheridan Ruth. By the end of the episode, you will know the truth about the full body yes, what you are saying, what you're really saying when you say, I can't afford this, and how to cultivate an open, receptive nervous system that can receive more income, more connection, and more pleasure. I'm about to share with you a story of a moment and a decision and action that was extremely important for me a couple of years ago when I was considering an investment in my business and myself and my own development. I was sitting on a sales call and I was asking about a program. As I was one like being sold to in this situation. So I'm sitting on the sales call and I'm asking about this program. And I knew that at that time I was not ready to invest in it. And I also knew that it was my next step. It was the next kind of course and path that made sense. My mind did not like that. It had a lot of questions. The call time seemed complicated with my schedule, and I was extremely busy with life and study. My mind kept telling me all of these really logical, really good reasons as to why it was incorrect for me to say yes to this program. But deep down, despite what my mind said, because I have cultivated such connection with my body, something that I'm teaching you to do and that I teach you to do, I knew that it was. I knew that it was the best thing for me to do. I knew that I needed to invest in this thing, even though my mind was freaking out about it. The honest truth is that one of our biggest responsibilities to our dreams is making the decisions that propel our dreams forward. And this includes investments. Honestly, I am very rarely the type of person to do things from a full body yes, and I'm much more the type of person to do things from 80% sure and 20% holy moly, I'm really scared. Even honoring my emotional waves. And as a nervous system specialist, there is a truth that I anchor into in order to create income that supports me when I am making investments that I'm nervous about or when I'm wanting to create income so that I can make investments. It all comes down to understanding that our mind gives us stories that are both influenced by our nervous system. So depending on the nervous system state you're in, you'll have different thoughts. And our thoughts then influence our nervous system. So our thoughts then have a feedback to our nervous system. And we have this two-way street of communication. There are certain stories that we tell ourselves that close off our nervous system from receiving. And it kind of plummets the body into dysregulation. When I say it closes off the nervous system from receiving, what I mean is that it puts us in a slight stress response. And when we're in a stress response, we are averse to receiving from the outside world because in that moment we are perceiving that there is like a lack of safety. One of the most common stories that we tell ourselves that closes our nervous system up from receiving and takes us further into dysregulation is the story, I can't afford it.
But really, Sheridan, I've seen the price and I don't have the money, so I can't afford it.
This is Freya, guys. You know her. She is my co-host. She's asking the questions that I know that you are asking as you guys both build body-based businesses as embodied entrepreneurs. And yes, I hear you. Maybe the money isn't in your bank account or it doesn't feel safe or supportive to invest right now. I hear you. I truly hear you. And like most things that are true in life, there is an important nuance to understanding how to step away from looking at those numbers and feeling like I can't afford it and stepping into and towards looking at your bank account seeing the money in there and saying, let's go. The nuance to that truth is that I can't afford it has very little to do with the numbers in your bank account, even if it's just a zero, and a lot to do with how empowered you feel around money. So let's just do a little test right now. I want you to take a few deep breaths and say, I can't afford it in your body. Just notice what happens if you say to yourself a few times, I can't afford it. What do you notice? Personally, I notice that my jaw gets tight, my belly kind of twirls a little bit, and I have like a sensation come into my chest that for me, this is the specific sensation I feel when I feel helpless. Ooh, it's actually hard and heavy, and I want to not feel it anymore. So let's change. What do you feel? Um, mm, we're gonna do another one. What happens in your body when you say, this isn't available to me right now, but I will work on finding the funds to it? Say that a few times. See what happens in your body. Hmm. Personally, my chest lifts. I feel a smile on my face and my spine kind of like perks upwards. I start having these thoughts, already thinking about ways that I can bring this money in. These signs, the smile, the perk, the lift, the thoughts about possibility, are signs of regulation, connection, empowerment. They are signs of a receptive and open nervous system, the type of nervous system that can receive more income, more connection, and more pleasure, even when it feels and looks like you can't afford it. Because your job is to be open to creation and possibility. It is not to close yourself to them. Your job is to open to receive, to open to more income, to open to more possibility, to open to more creation, to open. Now, this is not a one-time thing that we do and then we move on. No, this is a lifestyle. This is a practice. This is a muscle that we continuously use and strengthen. And the more that we come to that place of, I don't know how, but I will and I can, or even though I feel closed off and scared, I can do this. The more we do that, the more easily money flows to us. And this isn't like some, like esoteric spiritual thing, although that as well in some ways. It is really literally that your emotional, mental, physical state changes. You see more opportunity to bring money in and you're able to execute and really milk those opportunities so that you end up receiving more. Money flows to us, it flows through us, and it stays with us. So right now, perhaps you're considering body-based business and you just really cannot feel comfortable making the investment. Okay. Your job right now is to open your body to, I don't want to now, but I will figure out how. It's not happening today, but I will figure out how. I can figure out how. Even though I struggle to believe in myself, I will figure out how. Even though I'm really scared, I will figure out how. Even though I have questions, I will figure out how. And then, without pushing into hustling or dysregulation, let that power light a fire under you. And then pull on your ingenuity, your resourcefulness, your openness, and receive. Receive. Slowly, with devoted discipline, build up your income and savings, even if it means that you need to get a job. There is no shame in that. Even if it means you need to change your expenses, there is no shame in. Ultimately, at the end of the day, what I'm inviting you into is, first of all, the invitation to not sacrifice your peace and your nervous system for an investment. We don't do that here. But most importantly, do not deny your desire and your responsibility to your dreams, because right now in this moment, you cannot see the how. Step into the feeling of I can and allow the external world to rise up to meet you. Step into body-based business and learn the exact somatic blueprint that you need to turn on that metaphorical tap of abundance and never say, I can't afford this again. Apply for body-based business by booking your embodied sales call. You'll find the link in the show notes. If you're considering that call and you're not quite sure, you might be a little bit like Emily, who avoided booking her call for months because she was burnt out and business was heavy and she wasn't even sure if she wanted to continue. When Emily decided to step into the feeling of I can and she booked her call, she ended that call in tears with me, excited and energized to get back to work. You can follow in her footsteps. You can reignite your clarity, your passion, your feelings of confidence and ability. And you can do that by scheduling your embodied sales call. You'll find the link below.